What's up YouTube? Welcome back to DIY Reed. My name is Reed, and in this video, we're taking a look at the sit-down electric scooter. Stand-up electric scooters have become really popular over the years, and I've reviewed quite a few of them. But lately, more and more sit-down scooters are hitting the market, making it easier to carry things around using these features like the rear basket and a front hook. This is the Caroma Q1 Electric Scooter. So when I got the scooter itself came in a large box. There was some assembly required, but not too much. It wasn't that bad. It does come with its own tool bag kit, just in case you don't have any tools. Not the best tools, but it gets the job done. I found it easier to get out of the box by cutting the sides of the box down, so that way I can just pull it out sideways versus pulling it out from the top. There were some adjustments that I needed to make to the handlebars, to the brake levers and all of that. I just adjusted them to a comfortable position. The seat needs to be mounted to the seat stem, and then you can set that to the proper height that you want. The cargo basket uses 3 bolts. They're already bolted to the actual scooter itself, so you remove the bolts, and then you put the basket in there, and then mount that basket using those 3 different bolts. I almost forgot, the kickstand, it didn't come on the scooter. It came in the toolkit. For some reason, it didn't come already mounted. Not really sure why that happened or why it wasn't mounted already. I was thinking maybe it was for shipping reasons, but I don't see why that was a problem. So diving into the specs, this specific model has 560 watt peak motor, the total battery life and range of 12 miles, and a top speed of 20 miles per hour. All of this for the price of 150 bucks. This is one of the cheaper options out there when it comes down to electric scooters with a seat, and even when you talk about stand-up electric scooters. So the colors you can choose from for this one is the white, black, yellow, gray, and green. Now, they do have baby blue. I'm not really sure if it's for this specific, I know it's for this model, but not this power wattage. Couldn't find one on Amazon, but they do have a baby blue for the rest of them, I think. I did like the baby blue, but I went ahead and chose the green because, you know, the DIY Reed logo, it's green. Of course, it's kind of fitting. Now, the design of this is pretty straightforward. You have the comfortable grips with the palm rests, a digital speedometer display with odometer, front and rear disc brakes, front suspension for those bumps on the road, a headlight, a nice large platform with a skateboard style grip, an adjustable seat, a cargo basket, and 12-inch tires. The scooter can be folded up, but I must warn you, it is a bit heavy at 45 pounds. The overall build of this is pretty solid. So a couple things I noticed right off the bat, comparing it to my other seated Caroma scooter that I have, is the key. The key port is on the handlebars, which I like. My other one, it's where the battery goes, which is kind of out of the way and kind of cumbersome to get to. This one also has an electric horn versus the other one that I have has a mechanical bell. So a little bit different. Now, I'm not gonna lie, riding the scooter is a ton of fun. I'd have to say that I have more fun on this thing than I do on the stand-up scooters. So Caroma has 3 different power models. And even at the lowest one at 560 watts, this thing gets up and goes. The scooter has 3 different speed modes. You have the Eco, Tour, and Sport. Each of these have their own little speed limit. The 7 mile per hour for the Eco, 13 mile per hour for the Tour, and the Sport, it basically goes the fastest mode, and it gets you the top speed of 20 miles per hour. This is going to be great when you're teaching someone how to ride this, or if someone's never ridden a scooter before, so you can limit the power and the speed until they get used to it. Or if you have a kid that's younger and doesn't need to go 20 miles per hour, you can set them up on the Eco or Tour mode. So in order for this scooter to go, it has a half twist throttle grip. Most of the scooters that I've actually used has a thumb throttle, or they have a full grip throttle itself. I find the full grip throttle or the thumb throttle easier to use, and I'm not a huge fan of the half twist throttle. For whatever reason, it makes it difficult to use sometimes, at least for me. I think it's just personal preference. So to turn the scooter on, it doesn't have a power button. It turns on by turning the key on. It will then light up the display, allowing you to make adjustments. There is a mode button that allows you to make these adjustments between different speed modes by tapping it. When you tap it through, it'll cycle through the different modes. Now, if you hold the mode button, it will cycle through odometer, trip, and voltmeter. The brake light will turn on and off when you pull on the brake handles, but to turn on the headlight, there is an on and off switch, so that way it's not always on. So here are my final thoughts. While the scooter is the lowest powered scooter that they have with adjustable seat, it serves its purpose. If you're going to be using this thing on a hilly area all the time, I probably don't recommend this. It really depends on how hilly the area is, how hilly the hills are going to be. My neighborhood, it does kind of slow down a little bit on the hills, but it's not too bad. It doesn't bother me. But for the most part, most downtown areas are relatively flat, and so this is going to get you by. Also, cruising around the neighborhood with your kids or for your kids, cruising around anywhere you want to go, for the most part, is going to get you by here. So I'm not sure if it's because it's a sit-down scooter, but this scooter feels a lot quicker than their stand-up scooters with the same power. The skateboard grip platform is much more grippier than the rubber platform. There's a huge difference in the two. I'm not really sure why they went to the skateboard grip on this one versus the rubber, but it is a lot more grippier than it needs to. I don't know if it needs to be this grippy, but my feet stay on for sure. The adjustable seat is nice and able to adjust for your height, whatever it suits you. I like how the scooter has a speedometer on it, and it also has an odometer, so now I can tell how many miles I put on this thing. I don't know how many miles I put on my other scooters or sit-down scooters or anything like that. Now, when I ride this thing, it's going to track how far I go all the time. While this particular model does have a front-end suspension, it does lack the rear-end suspension. Now, it may not be a big deal. Just remember that it'll dampen the load in the front or the bumps in the front, but in the rear, you might feel it in the rear. It might be a pain in the rear. It's really not going to be that big a deal. You're not going to be going that fast. Last but not least, changing the key port from the base to the handlebars makes it super easy now for the riders, so that way they can turn it on and off and get the keys out. Now I no longer have to bend down and get it. I know, first world problems, but at least it's up here. It always should be up here anyways. If you found this video helpful, please leave me a like and feel free to ask any questions down in the comment section down below. I have had quite a few different Caroma scooters out there, and I've tested them all out. Not all of them out, but for the most part, all of them out. So feel free to ask me what I think on this. If you're new to my channel, please consider subscribing for more tech reviews, home automation, and home and automotive how-to videos. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.